from Holy Mackerel Productions in our mobile studio on the road in the good old USA. And yes, we are keeping a respectable and respectful distance from everybody and everything. Hope you are too. Welcome to the show. It's the Main Event Radio Show with me, Dan Foley, and we always play great entertainment from our own backyard, that is the great state of Maine and beyond. Good to have your company as always. We got lots to do with this in every edition of the program, so let's just get this show on the road, so to speak. Here it comes down that electronic highway, this edition of the Main Event Radio Show.
Sometimes I don't seem to care. No, sometimes I get lost in somewhere. At last I see you, at last I care. Last I need you alone. I've been. As long as the sun and the moon continues to shine, as the earth and the planets align, last I see you, last I can, last I need you alone. I've been. I see you, at last I can, last I need you alone. Alone I've been.
homegrown and good for you. The main event is radio the way it should be.
On the day that I first saw him down in the taverns, I heard his laughter, but I felt his pain. He was surrounded by 4 young ladies, but I was sure someday he'd know my name. And it didn't take long for your blue eyes to find me, and gentle as a song I felt you right beside me. But I felt their unkind gazes, and the look upon your face was a look I'd seen on taken men before. I went home heavy-hearted from my love, too soon parted, so sure I'd find you married in the spring. But when the snow had melted, I saw your face and I felt it. You hadn't married and your heart was free. Two hearts ringing with the sweetest song that I've known, wishing they could turn back time, still knowing what they know. We were hours walking, side by side, together talking, before I even told to you my name. My name is Molina Ericksen, but can't you see? If you'd like to change my name, forever yours I'll be. You took the nearest vine in hand, made for us 2 wedding bands, which by the summer's end had turned to gold. My name was Molina Ericksen when I was single. Now I take my true love's name, and where it goes I follow. No more heavy-hearted from my love, I'm rarely parted. And if you find your true love, do the same.
But I suppose conversations have no close. It's just how I feel. She sits there and wonders why. She stares and wants to cry, but oh, this is real. Maybe one day she'll start to believe. Maybe one day she'll finally be free. Well, I hear your voice not call for me. Lately she's been all I can see. She cries for stay and I jump for a leave. She can't see she's all she needs. You don't have to hold me, 'cause I'm used to being lonely, and I don't need your sympathy. I see you standing there, you waste a smile but you don't care, and no one sees. So maybe you're just seeing you in me, and maybe that's just how it's meant to be. Well, I hear your voice not call for me. Lately she's been all I can see. She cries for stay and I jump for a leave. She can't see she's all she needs. No, 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 no. So maybe you're just seeing you in me. Maybe that's just how it's meant to be. I hear her voice not call for me. Lately she's been in my dreams. She cries for stay and I jump for leave. She can't see she's all she needs. You cry for stay and I jump for leave. You can't see you're all you need.
The main event with Daniel Taylor, All You Need, and that is from his EP entitled After the Fall. Joyce Andersen before that, and the story of Molina Ericksen, kind of a love song. Stan Keach and the Sandy River Ramblers gave us Cry of the Loon. To Be Determined started us off for this edition of the show with At Last. So there's that and more coming your way. Stick around if you can, it's always good to have your company. Time to hear from Tim Sample. And he speaks of a guy he knew back in the hometown, down on the coast, named Eliot Winslow. It's on the main event.
Well, as some of you may know, I am a Maine native, but I also speak English as a second language. And one of the things that happens to me as I travel around the country doing Maine humor, and people ask me if there really are people in the state of Maine like the characters that populate my stories. And of course, we're here in Brooklyn, you're not going to ask that question. But when I was filming my last television special, my most recent one that was out last fall, it's called Lobsters, Laughter, and Lighthouses, and what I did was I borrowed a 1966 Cadillac convertible, and I took a film crew. We just drove up the coast of Maine around that area, visited all the hot spots, the prison store in Thomaston, you know, the Vinyl Haven ferry landing, you know, all the biggies. And we were interviewing the tourists and kind of generally dubbing around and have a good time, but if you're filming something for television, you want to make sure you got enough stuff in there to have a show, you know, when you finish up. So I had an ace in the hole. I had a little something in my back pocket just in case we didn't get the right stuff in these interviews. So the last place we went out to Southport Island, Maine, and we visited Eliot Winslow. Now, Eliot Winslow is a fellow I grew up with. He is currently, I think this year he turned 88 years old, and he is the real article, Eliot Winslow is. And in the summer, he cranks it right up to 10. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people from away don't realize that every single Mainer has got a rheostat on this stuff, you know? We can lay it on pretty thick for the tourists. We really can, and Eliot can too. But anyway, Eliot's quite a character, and he owns a place called Robinson's Wharf. It's a lobster wharf just across the Southport Bridge onto Southport Island from West Harbor. So I told the film crew, I says, get your cameras ready and make sure your batteries are charged, because we're going to go talk to Eliot, and I don't know what he's going to say, but whatever he says is going to be worth listening to. So we got ready, we set up the cameras, and I sat down on this picnic table on the lobster dock there, and Eliot come out. I said, Eliot, how's your summer going? Oh, he said, it's terrible, Timmy, terrible, terrible. He said, the month of June, it was foggy. Foggy all month. He said it was so foggy they couldn't see the food on their plates. He says, you know, they won't eat if they can't see the food on their plates. He says, we didn't even make our light bill. Well, I says, you know, you'll probably pick up in July and August. You'll probably make some money then. He says, if we do, we won't mention it. So I said, well, you know, you've been here 40 years, Eliot. You must have run across some interesting encounters with the tourists. Oh, yes, he says, yes, Lord, yes. He said, I sure have. He said, I remember one time, about 25 years ago, I was standing in front of the building, numbing around like I do, you know. And he says, these two fellows pulled up in the car. They was looking all around, gawking around, drove off. Well, about 20, 25 minutes later, they was back, looking more confused than ever, looking around. They drove off again. Well, it took them better part of an hour before they got back, but then they was really in a tizzy, and I went over and I says, you fellas lost, are you? Well, yes, they said, as a matter of fact, we are. He says, are you trying to get off of Southport Island? Yes, they said, exactly, that's just what we're trying to do. He says, are you trying to get off of Southport Island by driving west? Well, they said, yes, matter of fact. Well, he says, there's your trouble. He says, you can't get off of Southport Island driving west. He says, if you do, you'll be the first ones that's ever done it. He says, if you want to get off of Southport Island, you're going to have to drive back across the same bridge you come across in order to get on the island in the first place. Well, they said, we didn't come across no bridge. He says, you mean to tell me you didn't drive across no bridge to get on to Southport Island? They said, no, we didn't. He says, well, I take it back. He says, your problem is you ain't here yet.
Ready? Well, every time I go to town, the boys keep kicking my dog around. Makes no difference if he is a hound, they'll quit kicking my dog around. And I'll sing, here, old Jim, he's a good dog. Him. I got a dog, his name is Jim. I got a dog, his name is Jim. I got a dog, his name is Jim. And I bet you $5 he's a good dog, him. Well, Jim went with me wherever I'd go, under the piano all through the show. He knew the last song and he'd get up and bow. He was a good friend then and a good friend now. And I'll sing, here, old Jim, he's a good dog, him. Well, Jim found a groundhog under a log, but the groundhog wasn't afraid of no dog. Jim barked once and down he goes. Now there's a little pink scar on his big black nose. And I'll sing, here, old Jim, he's a good dog, him. Well, Jim started running, left me alone. He ran so far that he never came home. And when I get to heaven, I'm gonna whistle for Jim. 'Cause I bet you $5 he's a good dog, him. And I'll sing, here, old Jim, he's a good dog him. Heard them engines running on the road away from home. Sound like thunder calling out my name. And I listened hard the first time when I heard them roll along. I listened and I've never been the same. Don't cry, cry blue, I'm coming home to you. Well, I walked with you this morning and I'll sleep with you tonight. But don't cry, cry blue. The highway's just a 2-lane road connecting either way, but I've seen enough of this end for a while. And I've got to go the distance till I know I've seen it change. I've got to know the feel of every mile. Don't cry, cry blue, I'm coming home to you. Well, I walked with you this morning and I'll sleep with you tonight. But don't cry, cry blue. When my head is aching full of everywhere I've been, I'll turn my face around the other way. And I'll meet you at the mailbox and I'll read you all my cards and tell you what I really meant to say. Don't cry, cry blue, I'm coming home to you. Well, I walked with you this morning and I'll sleep with you tonight. But don't cry, cry blue. Don't cry, cry blue, I'm coming home to you. Well, I walked with you this morning and I'll sleep with you tonight. But don't cry, cry blue. Yeah. Don't cry, cry blue, don't cry.
Main event, not just another pretty radio show, all kinds of good stuff.
Well, poor boy took his father's credit, started down the road, yeah, started down the road. All he had and started down the road. Follow that road as far as it would go. That's the way to get along. Well, poor boy spent all he had, and famine come in the land. Well, famine come in the land. Spent all he had, and famine come in the land. Please hire me to some man. That'll be the way to get along. Well, man said, boy, I'll give you a job. Boy, you can feed my swine. Yes, boy, you can feed my swine. I'll give you a job. Boy, you can feed my swine. Poor boy just hung his head and cried. That ain't the way to get along. Well, poor boy said, believe it right, I believe it go, I believe it go back home. Well, I believe it go back home, I believe I ride, believe I go back home. Fall is the road where I started from. That's the way you get along. Travelin. Well, father said, I see my son coming home to me. Yes, coming home to me. I see my son coming home to me. Father and Fete down on his knees. That's the way you get along. Well, poor boy just stood there, hung his head and cried. Yes, hung his head and cried. He just stood there, hung his head and cried. Father, won't you look at me as a child? That's the way to get along. Well, Father said to the eldest son, hear the fatty calf, well, call the family round. You can hear that calf and call the family round. Son was lost, now he is found. That's the way to get along.
Scott Perry on the Main Event radio show, Prodigal Son. Probably best known, having been recorded by the Rolling Stones. Scott Perry doing it for us at that time. Jonathan Edwards, a sort of medley of Jim and Don't Cry Blue. Jonathan Edwards, a long-time New England favorite. Tim Sample with the story of Eliot Winslow. Oh, just one of many about Eliot, I suppose. And it's all right here on the Main Event, homegrown entertainment. Good stuff, just like homegrown food, you know? Homegrown entertainment is pretty good quality. Coming up, we'll visit the Vault of Vinyl. The Vault of Vinyl being where we keep our scratchy old record collection, and we reach in the vault, grab a record, play something from it for you. Yeah, we'll visit the vault in a little while. Meanwhile, here's Archipelago from a live album, Hold You Tight. It's on the Main Event.
Well, it was long ago I felt I'd put these thoughts to rest. Oh, the time went by, put me to a test, and there is no love lost, love you need regret. Memory should not define the future to be met, and I'll hold you tightly like you've never been held before, touch you lightly like a warm summer breeze. Do you still remember? I'll admit I can't recall. Did I make a promise not to stumble, not to fall? Oh, once again I'll offer what I've got to give, all that I appreciate in this will to live, and I'll hold you tightly like you've never been held before, touch you lightly like a warm summer breeze. Can we carry on long, long into the night? Watch the candles burn down to a last small flickering light. Windows offer views, they are never twice the same. Watch the changing shadows melt away the blame, and why be angry or cloak yourself in shame? Celebrate the wildness in the ones who go untamed, and I'll hold you tightly like you've never been held before, touch you lightly like a warm summer breeze. Hold you tight,
Touch me lightly,
touch you lightly like a warm summer breeze.
hold me tight,
Gonna hold you tight,
touch me lightly.
touch you lightly like a warm summer breeze.
fine fiddling on the main event. That comes from Don Leblanc and his family band. It's called Jour de Fete. And I suppose people that actually speak French are cringing, but that's the best I can do with the title of that song. Jour de Fete. Archipelago with Hold You Tight from Live at Stonington album. And that brings us to time for a visit to the Vault of Vinyl. We reach into that dusty old bin and grab a record. This time we have queued up and ready from the great Dick Curless, the musician that brought us Tombstone Every Mile and an album of the same name. Another album of Dick Curless's in the 1960s was Travelin' Man. We're going to hear the title track from that one after I tell you that Dick Curless racked up 22 top 40 hits on the Billboard charts during his career. This one did not quite crack the top 40. It came in at 44. Dick Curless, Travelin' Man, a Maine legend, just for you on the Main Event Radio Show.
I guess there is to see, but I'll keep right on going just because I am a traveling man, traveling man. I shipped out on freighters, going out to sea. I got a gal in every port, waiting just for me. Well, I don't know why they're waiting. They all know that I am a traveling man, traveling man. I need someone to love me, some place to call my own. Well, a little girl to keep me there till I lose this urge to roam. But I know I'll never find her, all because I am traveling man, traveling man. Weary, lonesome, traveling man, traveling man, traveling man.
Locally made and good for you. The Main Event.
Hello, my friends. I'd very much like to welcome you to the Liquid Cowboys.
Rawhide.
Roll 'em.
Gamma.
Used to be a good time, that's for sure. But I can't take this city life no more. Pushing and shoving, stopping and a go. I know I can't take this city life no more. But take me back to the country, back to the country. Take me back to the country, that's my home. Back to the country, back to the country. Take me back to the country, that's my home. City lights are bright now, sure is a lot to do. But I'm growing tired of those city nights. Take me back to the wild wood, where nothing's ever new. In that a big old moon still shining bright. Well, take me back to the country, back to the country. Take me back to the country, that's my home. Back to the country, back to the country. Take me back to the country, that's my home. Take me back. where I belong. Used to be a good time, that's for sure. But I can't take the city life no more. Take me back to the wild where nothing's ever new. No, I can't take the city life no more. Take me back to the country, back to the country. Take me back to the country, that's my home. Back to the country, back to the country. Take me back to the country, that's my home. Well, take me back, won't you take me back? Back to the country, that's my home. Take me back, yeah, take me back. Back to the country, that's my home.
Breath like spirit, walk like falling down. You come and knocking, baby, we'll drink that bottle down. Oh, I know you miss her. The drink makes you miss more. Tonight when drunk and drinking, we'll toast your sweet Eleanor. Slow dancing to records, George Jones and Kitty Wells. Kitty, one, she ain't no angel. You say that's just as well. Oh, I know you miss her. The dance makes you miss her more. Swing and sway and move me like you would sweet Eleanor. You've been that hollow body, like you're bleeding out here wrong. I'll stop my foot and plug in words from long forgotten song. Oh, I know you miss some music, makes you miss some more. Tonight we'll sing a song for dear sweet Eleanor. pull from that bottom drawer. Oh, fools drunk and drinking, me and you and Eleanor, you and me.
Main Event Radio Show. That's Eleanor, comes from Black Cat Road. Also, Eric Cobb and the Liquid Cowboys, and Back to the Country, a place I always like going back to, myself. And that followed our visit to the Vault of Vinyl with Dick Curless. You can catch this program, of course, right here on this radio station. Also, go to Facebook if you like, and like us there too if you like. The Main Event Radio Show page has this and several other recent editions of the program posted there as audio files on our page. We call this show 0350. That's how you'll find it, 0350. Main Event Radio Show is also on the webs, emiradio.org being the website, and you go to the page there, and right on the bottom, it says Listen Now, which you can do. Hear the latest edition of the program right there by clicking on the Listen Now button at emiradio.org. And of course, we're right here and always glad to have your company. Let's continue now. This comes from the Jason Spooner Band, an album called The Flame You Follow. This one is Black and Blue, Jason Spooner Band, the main event.
I think things were over long before I came out here. I served as a shoulder looking back over last year. I'm out in Las Vegas, I tell you, things are different here. Second sights and wedding nights, reflecting chandeliers. You might think it's cool, but this won't go away. You thought you had me fooled, now I hope you think about it every day. That's how I think of you, what can I do? It's how I'll remember you in black and blue. Started out so easy, every thought I thought of you. Now it's cold and sleazy, the words you say aren't even true. You're back on the East Coast with the men you meet in bars. Surrender to the bartender like the little tramp you are. You might think it's cool, but this won't go away. You thought you had me fooled, now I hope you think about it every day. That's how I think of you, what can I do? It's how I'll remember you in black and blue. Were over long before I came out here. I served as a shoulder looking back over last year. I'm out in Las Vegas, I tell you, things are different here.
Second sights and wedding nights. Second sights and wedding nights. Second sights and wedding nights.
I make a living, however barely it might seem, however fairly you might judge the things I've done for this dream. And I'm hoping you still remember how to hope, to see the shine beyond the squalor with great clarity and scope. And I'm singing, however sparse this crowd might be, however caught up in the stardust of their 80-proof routines. Baby, this ain't my last call. This ain't the last Friday night that you'll be lonely. This ain't my last long haul. No, this ain't my last. No, this ain't my last call. A little older than I was when you first laid down beside me and graced me with your touch and your heart. Well, it was different than the rest, and there's nothing I want more than to unbutton that old dress. And I'm sorry that I ain't ever around, that the man that you adored once ain't the same man you got now. This ain't my last call. This ain't the last Friday night that you'll be lonely. This ain't my last long haul. This ain't my last. This ain't my last call. And there's salvation, there's betrayal, and there's love in between them. Me to be honest, but you never believe me. And it ain't all women, and it ain't all whiskey, and there's far more boredom than big stage whimsy. But I know you're barely hanging on. But honey, this ain't my last. This ain't my last call. But there ain't nobody here. Ain't no coals left in the wood stove, and the cold makes it so clear. And I'm reading the note that you have left, so perfect in the margins, so heavy on this desk. And it says, this is my last call. This is the last Friday night that I'll be lonely. This is my last long haul. No, this is my last. Yeah, this is my last. Say this is my last. Say this is my last. Yeah, this is my last. This is my last call.
Last call. That is Chris Ross for us on the Main Event Radio Show. And speaking of last call, that brings us to time to put a wrap on this edition of the Main Event Radio Show. With thanks to the station for putting us on the air, and thanks to Kevin Foley for getting the IT work done that I have no clue about, and thanks especially to you for joining me. I hope you're going to be here next time, because I know I will, when the main event comes your way once again. Till then, Dan Foley signing off for the Main Event Radio Show, a Holy Mackerel production, coming to you this time from on the road in the USA, and a reminder to stay safe, be smart, and we'll talk next time when the main event comes your way once again. Lenny, Breau, and Buddy Emmons made an album in the 1970s. Here's a track from it, Scrapple from the Apple, to get us home.